Hey everybody, it's your girl Nick coming to you, giving you an update on what's going on with Vyvanse for my binge eating disorder, how therapy is going, and what's going on in my life. So talking about the Vyvanse, I've been on Vyvanse for 9 weeks. I am currently on 50 milligrams of Vyvanse for the treatment of my binge eating disorder. And, things are still going pretty well. Like every once in a blue moon, I feel a little bit of chest tightness or like palpitations, but it's really, really rare. I still have dry mouth. I think that's pretty much going to be what's going on with the Vyvanse as far as just having dry mouth. Not really having any other side effects or symptoms from the Vyvanse. It does continue to help with the binge eating. It does not stop. I found it does not stop the binge eating completely. I still can get triggered. Um, and, I still struggle with the triggers and the obsessive thoughts about food. And, when I get triggered, I don't know if it's like this for you guys, but when I get triggered, I immediately think of food and um it's like obsessive thoughts about food, and there's a sense of anxiety uh about if I don't eat that food, like my anxiety goes up. And it's very uncomfortable to sit with anxiety. I have an anxiety disorder. So I'm used to sitting with anxiety, but it's really bad when it's coupled with being triggered for my binges. And all I can think about is that food. No matter, I try distractions. Um, I also try, I've mentioned this, the 10-minute rule, wait 10 minutes. And then, if you can make it those 10 minutes, wait another 10 minutes. And then if you can make it those 10 minutes, make another 10 minutes. And then, that has about a 75% success rate for me, depending on how strong I've been triggered. If it's just like a mediocre or moderate trigger, the 10-minute rule will work. But if it's a strong trigger, such as if I get really, really, really upset, or as I've noticed as I've been paying attention, I get a trigger when it's like the week of my cycle. I guess because of my hormones, that's a trigger for me, and it's really hard to stop or not binge during that time period. It's really weird because I won't be upset, I won't be bored, definitely won't be hungry, and I'll just binge. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? And then I realize, oh, I'm going to get my period this week. That's what's going on. So I've been struggling this past month, in the month of February, with more binges this month. As I've mentioned in other videos, I was stressed because my husband was sick, and he was in pain, and I had to take care of him, and that stressed me. So I was binging more with that, and then with the week of my cycle, I binged. So I really haven't lost that much weight this past month. My weight's been going up and down a lot because of the binging. I have lost about a pound since last week. Uh, but I was down 2 pounds, and then I regained a pound. So I'm currently at 220. So I have lost a total of 27 pounds so far in my weight loss journey since mid-October. So it's what, October, November, December, January, February, now it's March. So almost 5 months. So I mean, it's still a healthy weight loss. I would have liked to lose a little bit more by now. Things are kind of slowing down in the weight loss department, I guess because my body's has gotten used to the decreased number of calories. I am on a 1,200 calorie diet. So I guess my body's kind of gotten used to that. So weight loss has kind of slowed down. I haven't plateaued yet, but it's definitely slowed down. And then that, coupled with just having more binges this past month, has definitely slowed down my weight loss as well. But I try to reframe it. That is a therapy term. I try to reframe it. And, when I see that I haven't lost as much as I wanted to on the scale, or my weight has gone up, I say, you know what? It's okay. My overall trajectory for my weight loss has been losing. I know, yes, there's been up and down with my weight, but overall it's been going down. There hasn't been any significant weight gain. So, I just try to tell myself that. I try to tell myself positive things. You can do this. Yes, you get eaten, but you can lose it just as easily as you gained it. You're doing a good job, Nick. Things like that. I try to, it sounds really silly giving yourself like a pep talk, but it does work. And the more you do it, the more you start to believe in those positive thoughts. That's something else that I've learned in therapy in general. But on the topic of therapy, so I've been going to a therapist specifically for my eating disorder, and things are going well. We've talked a lot about things that I have gone through in my life. She says I've gone through a lot of trauma. I don't see it as trauma. I see it just as stuff that I've gone through, but she's not the first one that has said I've gone through a lot of trauma, and that has impacted me. Excuse me. And just trying to use positive self-talk. We're going to be, I guess, exploring I don't even know how to say it. It came up in my last therapy session that she was under the impression that my perfectionism, or wanting to be perfect, was body specific. But just from talking to her this last session, she became aware that it's not just body specific. It is in every aspect of my life. I am a perfectionist. So that kind of changes her game plan a little bit, is what she said. So we'll see what that means and where we go from there. We were talking a lot about body image this past week, and my need to striving for perfectionism in my body and what that actually entails. What is the perfect person for me? So she had me write on a piece of paper all the qualities, both physical and intellectually, what would make me perfect in my eyes. And then I had to circle the qualities that were purely physical and then write down, if I achieved those things, what that meant to me. And basically, what I've realized is being perfect physically for me means having more self-confidence, which will translate to every other area of my life, and it will help me to excel more in every other aspect of my life. And I realize it is not realistic to expect to be perfect. I do realize that is flawed thinking. However, which I guess is step one, because I realize it. I'm not delusional about it, but I just don't know how to stop it. I don't know how to turn off the drive to be perfect. And the drive to be perfect is not, there's no positive motivation there. There's not. It's all negative. It's all self-criticism. And, I'm using that criticism to drive and motivate me, which has worked for me, but it's not healthy. So I suspect we're going to be working on that as well, trying to use positive motivators as opposed to negative motivators. So that's going to be interesting, because that's how I grew up, and that's what it has happened in my adult life. So, I'm going to be 35 this year. So you're talking about 35 years of reversing that thinking. So we got a long road ahead of us. But, I definitely would recommend you guys, if you can find a therapist with specific treatment for eating disorders, that you definitely find a therapist that can treat that, and you go and work on your stuff. Because I've been in therapy off and on since I was 4 years old. Basically, I suffer a lot with depression. I have other stuff going on. My first episode of depression was when my grandmother died when I was 4. So apparently it was bad enough that my mom was concerned, and so I did see a psychiatrist at that time. So I've been in therapy off and on for years, since I was 4 years old. And this has probably been the most eye-opening and illuminating experience dealing with the eating disorder therapy, because it's really making me examine my life. It is very uncomfortable. I will not lie. It's extremely uncomfortable sitting there talking about things that are near and dear to your heart, that cause a lot of anxiety, but I expect to be uncomfortable because that's how you make progress. So I definitely recommend seeing a therapist, and not just doing the Vyvanse or the binge eating. Vyvanse is kind of like, I look at it as a band-aid to help you right now, but the therapy is really what's going to dig and get to those core issues so that you could be healthy and have a healthy relationship with food for the long term. So I definitely recommend therapy. That's pretty much what's been going on with me. If you guys have any questions, please comment down below. Any comments, of course, leave them. I will always respond to them. I love the comments from you guys and interacting and hearing your story and how my story has been helping you guys. So just comment down below, subscribe if you like my videos. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I'm working on the thing. So I do say a lot, so I'm working on that. And that's what's going on. So I check you guys next week. Have a good day. Bye-bye.